Who's gonna miss me while I'm gone, huh? Who's gonna miss me? Who's gonna miss me?
What's up, State? You like the stupid intro I made?
Yeah, that video. That video was a great laugh, bro. That was a great laugh.
Yeah, I did it just for you, man. Yeah, man. So the doctor is in. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, how you doing tonight, man? Yeah, a busy night.
Busy, but that's regular. But I'm here now.
Gotcha.
I'm seeing the news today. Knicks in a lot of news. You see Miles Turner, stuff like that. You see the Frank Ntilikina news get posted earlier.
All right, rip the scab off, man. How do you feel about it? Because I mean, it's one thing we talked about at the last podcast a little bit, but now it's like he's literally got no foot in the door as far as NBA is concerned right now. He's not on the team because the Knicks, they didn't extend the qualifying offer, so he's an unrestricted free agent. He's not on the team right now. How do you feel about it?
You seen the tweet? It was a tweet I put out, and it was the tweet of Toy Story when Andy had dropped Woody. And it was basically Frank Ntilikina fans when we watched the Knicks draft Quentin Grimes, and Frank, he was a bust here. He just got caught like him said. He was bad. That was a bad pick, man. It was a bad pick. That's on Phil Jackson. Last of the Phil Jackson era. Walks out the door, and we in a new chapter. We picked him 8th overall, so I never want to pick 8th overall again. But Frank, you just want to wish him the best. Hope that he gets on a playoff team. But I wish he could have had more of a leash or a rope. Well, Fizdale tried, but he's a crappy coach. You got Jeff Hornacek. He was coaching for his job. And remember Jeff Hornacek, he started, oh my God. He started Jared Jack. He tried to save his job. So it's like, and Frank didn't help his scores either. Frank, never aggressive, scared to shoot the ball. We try to see marginal improvements, 7 points per game, under 40% shooting. Jesus Christ. And I don't know, dog. Like, I can't, he ain't what more you want me to say? I can't defend him like that anymore.
Well, man, I had some tweets queued up, but I think I X'd it out. But I mean, people saying the same thing. Like I don't know. Hornets, like you said, Hornacek didn't give him a chance. They had Jared Jack here, But here's the thing: he's a rookie coming from Europe, right? So we were supposed to just start him. Like you needed somebody that had NBA experience to start ahead of him to give him somebody to play off of, right? So as the year went on, you kind of wanted to see Frank more because we were losing and stuff like that. I get it, but Frank still can't speak English. You know what I'm saying? That was a language barrier kind of thing. He still didn't really understand certain things when he first got to the NBA. Reporters were asking him, "Hey, how do you feel about blah blah? What's going on?" He said, "Oh, how do you say? I don't know how to say it in English." It's like stuff like that. How do you trust a guy like that to be a starting point guard?
Come on, man.
I mean, it's true, right?
You coming from the old school, so I respect it.
Yo, I'm coming.
And for me, I don't see Frank as a point guard. I see him as a Swiss Army knife. You could play him 1 through 3, depending on who the other 2 is next. That's how I see him. I don't see him as a starting point guard, though. He is not that. Not in today's NBA. Today's NBA point guard, you got to be able to get a bucket. Like you you gotta have an elite skill to be an NBA point guard in today's game. Like during the 2000s, you could get away if you couldn't shoot because the rules was different. You know, but now, nah, your point guard got to be dynamic. You don't got to be the best player on your team. That's not what I'm saying. Because I'm a guy who loves wings, but your point guard definitely got to be dynamic at some, and he ain't that. Honest at you, how you felt? How you felt about us picking Frank over Michael Porter Jr.? Wait, was that his drive? No, that was Kevin Knox.
Yeah,
No,
that's another story right there.
Yeah, Donovan. See, just oh my God,
It just
Donovan
don't stop,
Mitchell.
man.
Hey, it stopped when Leon Rose got here. But talk to me about Donovan Mitchell, about us, passing up on him for Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just him. What I was going to say, Malik Monk is a guy that right now he's also a free agent. Is a
Yes.
question. Since he's the first person I mentioned, who would you rather sign right now? Now that they're both free agents, would you rather sign Frank or Malik Monk?
How you put me?
It's a simple question.
Gotta sign Malik Monk, man. You gotta go get the dog. I mean, Malik Monk ain't going much. Listen, yo, I don't think Frank is coming back. So for me, I gotta say Malik Monk, just personally. Yeah, that's the end of the Phil Jackson era. I just gotta move on. It'd be all right. But Malik Monk, now see the Malik Monk thing. It Here's the thing, bro. We just drafted Quentin Grimes, so you bringing in Malik Monk. That mean where's Emmanuel quickly in all of this? Is he starting or is he coming off the bench?
See, that's a special question. Everybody and their mother seems to think that Emmanuel quickly is coming off the bench, and he has no chance of getting any better, or no chance of doing anything. He's just going to be Lou Williams, and that's the end of his career right there. That's what everybody thinks. So, I mean, if you want to keep him on the bench, then that means you have a spot available for a guy like Malik Monk. But Malik Monk is a scorer. He's not a point guard. He's definitely a scorer. Emmanuel quickly could kind of play both. Monk can't play both. Monk is he's just a gunner, running up and down the court, trying to get the ball and trying to put it in the basket. So I mean, like I would love to have Monk in that same role. Is another thing. This is getting mixed up with the whole free agency thing. Derrick Rose. There's rumors that he might go to Chicago. Might go back home for his last twilight years. The same way our boy Melo was rumored to come back to the Knicks for his twilight years. So let's say if Derrick Rose goes to Chicago, and even Lonzo Ball, let's say if they both go to Chicago. Now what are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? You got to fill those spots now. So a guy like Malik Monk might actually be somebody that we could pick up to fill in those spots. Just that scorer coming off the bench, and especially if you got Emmanuel quickly, you want to give these guys your trust, because they proved that they could play last year. So you kind of want to put them on the spot and give them that shine, you know. And we got these rookies too, man. These rookies are good. What do you think about the rookies with all this? Just the whole thing.
See, that's the thing. Because I know we got 50 plus million in cash. I just watched Obi Toppin, a 23-year-old lottery pick, average 11 minutes and 4 points. And I'm mad at that, and I'm not mad at him about it. I'm kind of mad at Thibodeau about it, because Thibodeau basically ran Julius Randle into the ground. Like, bro, why does he play 200 more minutes than the next man in the NBA? That is ridiculous. In a 72-game season. So he played 76 games. Like, come on, bro. So it would be interesting to see who we pick up and see what type of dynamic that Tibbs come up with. Because let me ask you a question. You think that's going to really fly what Tibbs did last year, this year, with certain young guys? Like, let's say we seeing a vet and he just crapping it on the floor and Tips keeping him out there. You think people gonna let that slide?
Well,
I mean, start side out of him like, yo, come on, my dude.
Well, I mean, same thing with Jared Jack when Frank was there. You might have to turn your thing down. I think your thing might be too loud. The sound. Well, just Emmanuel. What I was gonna say, Jared Jack. When Jared Jack was here and we had Frank, like you can't really trust the rookie, especially somebody coming from France, whatever. Same thing with Tom Thibodeau. He's an old school guy, so he can't trust the person. He can't trust him to be the starter. He just came on the scene. Wasn't sure if he could play point guard. Wasn't sure if he could do anything. Everybody gave him a D pause, right, in the assessment and whatever. So. He's not the only one that didn't trust Emmanuel quickly and didn't think that he could start and run a team or whatever. So you got to run with quickly. I mean, not quickly. Elfrid Payton, you got to run with him. He's the veteran guy. That's the guy you trust because he's been in the NBA for X amount of years, averaging 10 and 7 for his whole career. You know what I'm saying? So you give those. Excuse me, 10 and 6. Let me not add numbers to it. 10 and 6. You know what I'm saying? So you trust that kid. To actually do what NBA teams do rather than somebody that doesn't have no NBA experience.
Wow.
It's the same dynamic. Same thing with Emmanuel, not Emmanuel. What's the other guy? Moutier, right? Moutier. He just happened to be, he just happened to be Fizdale's pet. He also had NBA experience, man. So you're gonna play the athletic guy, the guy that has a pulse. He averaged as a Knick, he averaged 14 and 5 when he was a Knick. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if Frank was getting close to that, then Frank would have played. Frank wasn't getting as close to that production that Moutier was doing. So you got to go with the guy that's producing, even though that Moutier's not even in the NBA.
That's the point. Moutier not in the NBA. Why you not playing Frank? Like it's like that. That's annoying. You gave Moutier cookie minutes all season just for him to just not be in the NBA right now. Come on, bro.
Yeah, but Frank shouldn't been out the NBA for a few seasons already. He hasn't really proved anything. Even overseas. Right now, he's been hurt this whole time. He finally played against Iran. I actually have those numbers put up, but it's not even like worth posting it because he posted the same numbers that he posted as a Knick. Barely 20 minutes and like 3 points and 2 rebounds. Same thing that he did with the Knicks. So there's no progression. So him not getting his qualifying offer, extended to him, and him being out the league now is not the Knicks' fault.
He's not going to the league. He's going to get a job. I'm not worried about that. He definitely got an NBA skill. He'll be all right though. But free agency is coming up in 2 hours, and I'm kind of done with the Frank. I don't even care no more. Like, I'm finished with that. Like,
Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo, Justin Jackson. Who else we got? John Collins was drafted after him. Look at all these different guys. Laurie Markin is another guy I guess we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Luke Kennard got the bag also, and I could just scroll down this draft too. There's so many different names in this draft, but Obi, it's gonna be OG, Anunoby, whatever. Kyle Kuzma. Derek White got the bag too. Josh Hart is about to get some money this offseason. Thomas Bryant, so many different players in that draft. You know what I'm saying? Kadeem Allen was even in that draft. But Kadeem Allen had a better Knicks career than Frank Ntilikina. He's not in the NBA either.
Oh, yo, get it. Oh, stop it.
Oh, man.
Oh, stop it.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, with the excuse thing, I just want to add to what I said the last podcast. Like we're from New York. You know what I'm saying? So like hustling and bustling. You just came from doing whatever you was doing, trying to get it so you can get and do this podcast. You do what you got to do to do what you want to do in this the state that we call New York City. You know what I'm saying? So you're here with me doing this podcast. Look at all the stuff you had to go through to just to get this happening. You know what I'm saying? Frank Ntilikina has so many excuses. This is New York. You got the crazy thick. Harlem accent. You a Harlem dude. The history of Harlem, like I said the last show, is competition. Like, yo, everybody's competing with each other for the most part. Talk about the Renaissance in Harlem when all the the old greats used to live right shoulder to shoulder with each other up in Harlem. And whatever, it was a big thing. Even like going down to the pits of the 80s and the 90s when it was all drug infested and stuff like that. But they still had the players and the freaking drug lords and stuff like that looking fly, whatever, the basketball people, different stages or whatever. It's always been competitive. It's always been like that. So I mean, like, to me, it's like a disrespect to us to keep giving this kid Frank so much so much passes. I just don't think it's right anymore.
Nah, I understand, and you try to hold yourself to high standards. You a Knick fan. I'm a Knick fan. I've been watching the Knicks for 20 years. For those 20 years, I think I could count 4 winning seasons. But out of those 20 years, I didn't grow up with a lot of draft picks. 2000 to 2010. We didn't have draft picks. No. And 2010 to 2020, we didn't have a couple of our draft picks, but I guess the best draft pick we got was KP, and now we got RJ Barrett. So now we got a great free agent signing, Julius Randle. Julius Randle is probably the best free agent I've seen the Knicks get in the past 20 years. Well, who's shown up in the season. And when I say show up, I don't just mean like basketball, like on the court. I'm talking about like he's a family man. He takes good care of himself. You feel me? He don't get in trouble. You don't see him outside doing some nonsense. He don't make us look like a fool on social media. So you got to commend him on that. But I've seen the worst of the worst free agents, bro. Like, remember Jerome James?
Yeah, we got some bad ones, man. But I mean, like we talked about that before. At least Jerome James had a playoff series that earned him that money. Frank hasn't had a moment. I can count on. I can't even fill up two hands of the games that Frank had that was actually worth talking about. You can't even fill up two hands. I mean, it's not some like the point where I'm bashing the kid, because I mean you don't want to make dudes you don't want to like put that on people. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of pressure out there, especially he's a dude of color too. Came from his family came from Rwanda, made their way to Belgium, found their way to France. You know what I'm saying? That's hard work, man. Him even making it to the NBA is pretty hard work. But now you're acting like a trust fund kid. Like yo, you can't make it. Like yo, after everything your parents been through to get you here on this earth and even bring you to from Belgium, from Rwanda to Belgium to France, and then now this is what you do now. That you're like, would you bougie or something? What happened to hard work? What happened to wanting to be here? What happened to like like looking at the person in front of you and just acting like, yo, that's food. I want to be in this NBA. I don't want to be the guy with my foot out the league. Now I'm not in the league. And I got to wait for somebody to give me a contract. He should be here. He should be not. It don't have to be a starting point guard or a starting shooting guard. He should at least be in the rotation right now with the Knicks, with no question. But that's not. You cannot use the excuse for me. You cannot use the excuses that everyone gives him. It's not. It's just not fair, because a guy like Elfrid Payton that averaged 10 and 6 for his career, in the NBA over a certain amount of years, he comes to the Knicks, has one bad season, everybody wants to kill him. But meanwhile, Frank did the same, did worse, a fraction of what Elfrid did for 3 years, and people still want to re-sign him. It's, you get what I'm saying? It's like a crazy, it's a crazy dynamic with the two players.
I can understand. Just all biases aside, I can understand. If you're talking about counting stats and the stat sheet, stuff like that, then yeah, you could say Payton was better, but like Frank got a skill. Like Frank could play defense. Frank had a 3-point shot. Alfred just couldn't do anything but pass to Julius Randle, and that's all I remember. I just remember him passing it to Julius Randle.
But Julius Randle's the leading scorer. Is that a bad thing?
It's not. But name me. I don't remember a game where he outplayed another team's starting point guard.
Elfrid Payton, man. Oh my God, you're gonna make me
Last 2
dig
years.
now? Oh Lord, help me.
He started for the past 2 years. You got. I don't remember the game where he outplayed another starting point guard. He
Oh Lord,
started
have
for the
mercy.
past 2 years, and it's crazy because while we talking, Woj going crazy on the tweets. You know, Kyle Lowry think he's on his way to Miami Heat, so that's another point guard off the table. So no more Kyle Lowry and Knick jerseys. Tough luck.
It's rumored though, or allegedly. Woj is actually saying that.
Woj said it. It's law. You might as well put up the tweet if you can, brother.
Oh shit.
Kyle
I'm
Lowry in the signing trade. See, this is the reason why I dislike 1 year. Like I dislike the 1 year vets, bro. Unless we could get value for them, it's there's nobody gonna trade for Kevin Knox, bro.
Yeah, but that's not the Knicks' fault. That's got to be Kevin Knox's fault though. It has to be his fault. You know, he's not. He's
It's
the one
his
that's not
fault
playing
too.
well. Yeah.
It's his fault too. But it's the Knicks' fault too because you waste assets like that. Now you don't have enough assets if you want to make a real move. Gotta overpay. Everything's an overpay now because you spent all your time in the 1 year vet Mercs. Could have tried to play this boy some more, even in blowout games. Just showcase them a little more. He should be in summer league. if you ask me, he should be in summer league. So showcase him a little more. Maybe you probably would have got a deal for him already. You know, if he had more value. But I don't know. We could probably do a sign and trade as well. So, oh God, he
You see
really.
it. I mean, you asked for it, man.
He,
Look. This is You said what starting point guard did he outplay? This is Elfrid Payton stats here. So I mean, look at this game against Milwaukee. We won. We beat Milwaukee this game. Yo, Elfrid Payton had 27 and 7 that game. 27 and 7, and he was 3 from 3 for the 3-point line.
yeah, I can't
Holy
believe you're doing this
moly!
propaganda. I can't believe you're doing this propaganda, man.
It's not propaganda if it's facts, man. Yo, I was getting into an argument with That's why I wish we would get on with this podcast. Shout out to Evergreen. I see you, Evergreen. Man, I can't. I could drop you in there, but me and Frank, State getting kind of deep here. But me and Cornerstone was talking about Frank, and he was getting so mad at me, but basically saying something. But yo, if he's trash, it's not my opinion. It's the facts, and the fact that Elfrid Payton actually played decent, especially in the beginning of the year, held us down.
Play decent.
Yo, look at
I
how
don't
many
remember.
wins. Yo, they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins during that time when he basically how many? Let's even do that. He during this time period. Watch, he averaged 18, 6, and almost 5 during that time period. And the Knicks went. Yo, the Knicks went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They went 5 and 1 during that time period. You get what I'm saying? This is what you ask. You ask, when did he ever outplay whatever? Yo, he averaged 18 and 6 during a winning streak in the beginning of the season.
So let's see those starting point guards he played against. What was their stats?
It don't matter. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks won the championship. Cleveland, we want their starting point guard, Sexton. Look at Toronto. Toronto got whoever they got over there. Right now it don't even matter. Indiana, who they got? They got Brogdon over there. Utah got Conley. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't need to pull up their games. The Knicks won. You know what I'm saying?
You killed me with this Elfrid Payton garbage, man.
I'm only saying it because
his field goal percentage is so bad.
It don't matter because during the time when we needed him and we had a 5-1 winning streak at that point,
so
he averaged 18, 6, and 4.
So
hell no, I don't want to resign him.
So why are you doing this?
Only because you're saying that Frank Ntilikina's stats don't matter and whatever. Then you ask me, huh?
No, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying then you ask me what point guard did he outplay, and I had to pull it up for you. I had to put the numbers on the screen.
You put his numbers up but then put the opposing point guard numbers up.
Oh
And
my
then go
God,
and
you
say
want to
to
do
me,
that too? You want to
go
do
and say
that
to me,
too?
then the cop out
Holy
is,
moly!
we won the game.
Yeah, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Drew Holiday played 20. Yo, this is the best right here. Look, Drew Holiday played that game. Drew Holiday played that game 27 minutes, starting point guard, won a championship this year, right? He had 8 and 5, and freaking Elfrid Payton put 27 on his ass. The greatest defender in the league just won a championship, locking down everybody. Freaking Elfrid Payton put 27 and 4 on his ass, bro. So I mean, like, it's the argument is crazy. Something happened to Elfrid Payton throughout the course of the year. But it's the truth. You asked me who was starting. It's the championship Milwaukee Bucks with Drew Holiday, just won a championship. At the beginning of the year, the Knicks beat him. He had 8 and 5, 4 rebounds against Elfrid Payton, who busted his ass. 27.
I'm not campaigning for this.
Holy moly, man! This is just the numbers. You can't. Yo, shout out to.
I see the numbers. I didn't say they lied.
Shout out to the Guard Up Knicks podcast. My guys with the Guard Up Knicks. He said, "Yo, what does he always say?" He said, "Men lie, women lie, and numbers don't, fam." You know what I'm saying? And I hate Elfrid Payton, but that's the whole point.
If you want to sign Alfred to $10 million,
hell no.
You can shoot it down. Tibbs won 50 games with Keith Bogan. You gonna talk to me about Elfrid Payton?
You asked the questions, I gave you the answers.
All right. We know Tibbs can make wine out of water. We know that. We know he can make wine out of water.
Yo, but Elfrid, you gotta give him a credit at least for this game.
Keith Bogans. Come on. I could get worse.
Yo, Keith Bogan's been retired for like 5 years, 5-6 years already. Holy moly.
He's still playing for Tibbs.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Alfred. Oh, God. Alfred.
Yo, but look, that's the point, though. Elfrid Payton is trash. Straight like that. Elfrid Payton is trash. He should not be in the NBA anymore. You know what I'm saying? But if Elfrid Payton is trash and he gave us 10 and 6 for the year, no, not 10 and 6. He gave us like 10 and 3, 10 and 3, 10 and 4 for the year. And I just told you he gave us 18, 6 and 4 in the beginning of the year during the winning streak. You know what I'm saying? Then Frank didn't do nothing for us. He averaged 9 minutes a game. The year before that, he averaged 20. Year before that, he averaged 20. Year before that, he averaged 20. I could put up his stats too, but it's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Like he does NBA things. Yes, he plays defense. Okay. Yeah, but then what else does he do?
The whole point guard position needs to be thrown in the garbage. The whole point guard position, just throw it away.
But the thing is, well, we already got better already. The point guard that we have now, Deuce McBride, he's better than Elfrid Payton. If we had to go with Deuce McBride, I'd rather go with him. I have confidence in Deuce McBride to go out there and play extremely hard. You know what I'm saying?
Situational.
I don't know about that because the dude shoot 40-something% from 3, and he can get to the basket, and he does everything that people think Frank could do, and he did it to Cade.
It's Tibbs. I know Tibbs. I just know Tibbs. I know him, bro. Like I know what he gonna do. He's such a liar. Like, oh man, he'll lie and say it's a competition for minutes next season, and Deuce would be situational for Jared Bayless.
I just put it, Aiden is trolling us right now. Aiden is trolling us right now. Thank you, Mr. Aiden. Aiden is funny. Yeah, man. I don't know what else to say. You got to contribute. You got to contribute to the game some kind of way.
Yeah, man.
You got to contribute to the game some kind of way. Elfrid Payton sucks. Yes, that's not an excuse for Frank not playing bad. If Frank's numbers is worse.
But in context, not everybody has the same role. Cause I could put up a bunch of 3-and-D players who put up triple singles for like 3 months straight. So we don't even. Oh yeah, but
Reggie
I'm not
Bullock.
going. It can be guys worse than him. I could pull up 3 months of triple singles, looking like they playing baseball out there. I could definitely do that, but I'm not though. It's all about raw. It's not always about numbers.
Yeah, 41 and 31 too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Frank played 9 minutes in that season. He played
It's all
20,
right.
20 minutes in the season, and we lost every year.
It's all right. Why we lost? We had Fizda as a coach.
Yeah, it happens, man. So you said you were done with Frank, right?
Yeah, I'm done with Alfred. I'm done with Alfred.
You're done with Alfred, all right? You're done with
Yeah, I'm done
Alfred.
with it.
I'm done with Frank, man. Hopefully, we don't got to speak to him. There's one more thing with Frank. The Frank is still not done with us because potentially we might be able to sign and trade him to another team. So while you doing that, I'm thinking like say like to like Chicago. Chicago like your boy Laurie Markkinen. He's dangling. Chicago might not keep him. They made him a restricted free agent. So maybe we can trade Frank over there. To Chicago. Is that a possibility to try to get Markkinen over here? Some people mention not just Frank, but other players. That we could just add to the mix to try to see if we can get Markkinen here. What do you think about that?
Lottery marketing and the sign and trade. See, now here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. What's something I said to you? Something I said to you like a couple months ago. I said to you, yo, Diehard, we need a floor spacing big. We need somebody who can space the floor. Because if you want Randall, if you want Randall to get to the next level, and his next level is, first of all, he got to play better back to the basket. His playmaking back to the basket. And Randall has to get better with his playmaking as far as, seeing where the double teams is coming from. It'll take time. He'll learn from the playoff losses. But a big who can space the floor will open the game up for Randall. And it'll open the game up for RJ. So Lowry, I would love to do it. But the sign and trade stuff is that's where I'm good on that. I'm out. I'm out on that. I would not sign and trade with Lowry Markkinen because I'm not paying Lowry Markkinen more than $12 million. He cool nothing.
Well, it might be that though, because I mean, like Derrick Rose is also one of those guys that are rumored to go back home. You know what I'm saying? So if we sign and trade Derrick Rose, for Markkinen, that could work. What do you think about that?
Derrick Rose for Lowry Markkinen. If the Knicks pull that off, that's tough. I don't know if they could pull something like that off. I mean, I don't know, bro. That's crazy. When you thought of that?
I think I saw one of the guys on Twitter post that. Because I mean, like I said, only because of the rumor of Derrick Rose going, they're saying that he might want to go back to Chicago. But Larry Markkinen is dangling. But it's so stupid because I mean he's a restricted free agent. So I mean, like they could just match an offer. The Knicks can just give him an offer, and then they can choose to match it or not, and then they can just sign. But that's the thing too. I'm not sure exactly how much cap space that Chicago has. You know what I'm saying? So they might need the signing trade to get Derrick Rose to come back over there. So it's interesting. It's definitely going to be no more than like 12 to 15 million, if that, because of what Laurie was doing and the stage that Rose is in his career too.
Yeah. So I can understand it. I can understand the logic behind it. Here's the thing though. I damn sure don't want Larry Markkinen next to Julius Randle in no starting lineup because Larry Markkinen don't play. Nah, he's not a rim protector. I know that for sure. So,
well, talk about the rim protector. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Say that again.
Well, I was gonna say, we'll talk about the rim protector, the kid from Indiana. For some reason, all of a sudden, that rumor's starting to pop off, and I'm hearing it more than one time. And Knicks Fan TV just reshared something from somebody too. I'm about to post it now.
Yeah, Miles Turner. It's funny because one of the OGs, he was talking about Miles Turner months ago. And my only thing about Miles Turner is just the rebounding. Like he just got to play stronger. But you need he like Brook Lopez, like a more athletic Brook Lopez. You need a guy like that who can space the floor and rim protect. It's just can he rebound? I need him to rebound more. I need him to hit the boards. I don't mind it. I like Miles Turner. I like the Miles Turner fit with Julius Randle. I definitely don't mind it. And he makes a good amount on his contract. His contract is good.
Well, like you're talking about rebounding. Yo, the guy's rebounding is pretty bad, man. 6 rebounds a game for somebody with his athleticism. But at the same time, the dude averaged 3.4 blocks last year. And he's not even playing like a whole lot of minutes. He played 31 minutes a game. So I mean, he has an NBA skill, like you were saying about Frank. He got an NBA skill, 3.4 blocks. So the guy definitely could rim protect.
Yeah. And it's tough. You trying to build a team. Then you got the Dame rumors and stuff like we don't know what's going to happen. It's 10:08. Free agency begins at 12 midnight tonight.
Is it 12 midnight though, or is it 6? 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Midnight. Nope, 12 midnight. They can start talking at 12 midnight. So I think it's going to be funny, man. I just hope we come out with a good team, and our team is just young and it's not filled with 1 year vet mercs no more. I'm trying to like build something. You can't build nothing when you keep getting 1 year vet mercs. You holding over cap space where you can. Cap space means nothing when you have no talent to trade. Because you still got to give up something, even when you got cap space now. Teams is doing signing trades and all that. Teams trying to get assets out of Spurs. Like, you think the Pelicans just going to let Lonzo walk? They're not going to just let him walk. They're going to sign and trade him. No.
We'll see about that. I mean, they didn't to not extend him. I don't know for somebody with everyone seems to like him, but the Pelicans didn't do that, and they have him dangling like that. It's not really good. Well, I just want to talk about Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, we just picked up his option, and then the first thing you hear is that we're connected to Miles Turner. So I mean, what do you say about Mitch and his role? Because we definitely need that stretch big, but excuse me, Miles Turner with all the stuff that he can't do rebounding wise, he can shoot the 3 as well.
Would I do it? Yes. Would I be sad about it? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's all about fit. And you want to know what's funny, dog? You watched that video, I think it was earlier, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, and it was Julius Randle and Miles Turner, and they was in the gym, and they was working out together.
Yeah.
So you already seen that, so you know they spoke behind the scenes. So it's funny how you connected the dots about Mitchell Robinson. We picked up his option, and Miles Turner rumors. It's a way to see. I think Malcolm Brogdon doesn't. I think Malcolm Brogdon wants to be traded. I don't know that yet, but if we could get Miles Turner and Malcolm Brogdon, I would definitely take it. But Miles Turner by himself, yeah, I'll do it.
In the end, it's weird, man, because I mean, they didn't, there was only 34 and 38. I don't know if you want to blame that on the coach. Who was the coach? Nate, whatever his last name is, but I'm just looking at the talent. They have a lot of talent on their roster. Brogdon is what did Brogdon do? He did Brogdon averaged 21 and 5. No, 21 and 6. Excuse me. Then they had Sabonis. He averaged 20. It's gonna be 20, 12, and 6. Then they also went and picked up Victor Oladipo. They got Karis LeVert over there. Both of those guys were averaging 20 when they were there. Miles Turner could give you 10. Excuse me, 12 and 6 with 3 blocks. So how come they didn't make the playoffs? They got Justin Holiday coming off the bench. They also had TJ Warren in the mix there. TJ McCollum was there. Doug McDermott. They have enough talent. Even what's this kid name? Jeremy Lamb. They have plenty of talent over there. Why didn't they make the playoffs?
Coaching. Remember the coach? I forgot his name. I don't remember his name, but they had a bad coach. They got Rick Carlisle now, so I think a lot of that stuff won't be going on. But at the same time, it's like if you're Malcolm Brogdon and you're Miles Turner and you see your name in trade rumors for the past, was it 2 years now? Then you got to be thinking that Indiana, they got also about it too. They got another wing in TJ Warren, right? So they're gonna have to. They got a lot of decisions to make. They definitely got a lot of decisions to make.
I don't know, man. I would love to have their roster. I would love to have their roster because right now we're looking to get Miles Turner from them, possibly. See, just to add that too, like we talk about Mitchell Robinson. Oh, I wish he could shoot the 3. Oh, I wish he had at least a jump shot or a jump hook or something. That's Miles Turner a million times away. So it's not that they're watching us or whatever. It's just the common sense. If you want to get get better, you have to look at positions and see how you can improve it. Because the reason why Mitch Robinson doesn't have an extension because he don't deserve it. He's just given if you go to Mitchell Robinson's stats, stats is not the whole thing. Mitchell Robinson is not a bad player, but doing Mitchell Robinson. He's not even giving you over 10 points. He's not giving you over 10 rebounds, and he's not even giving you over 2 blocks. I don't think.
Yo, you want to know what's funny? So let me try to rewind you real quick, right?
Yeah.
So we just brought up Malik Monk. We got Kenny Payne, right? You just brought up Miles Turner, right? Miles Turner, Mitch, that's on a separate deal. Who is Malik Monk's teammate in college?
Was it Kevin Knox?
Hell no.
I gotta think. Well, we're talking about the Frank draft. So I don't know who's his who's his teammate.
Fox.
Oh,
at Kentucky.
Right.
So
yep, you're right.
So I'm just saying. I just thought of a starting 5 in my head. It sounded like a good starting 5.
Let's hear it.
Wow. He put me on the spot again.
Your greenhouse said they never played together. That's Monk and Fox. Is that true? In college? That I don't know. That's a deep cut there. I'm gonna have to take Greenhouse word for it if that's what he's talking about.
Dang, but Fox stole Monk a goddamn oop.
I could have sworn he did too. Yo, in college, Monk was a beast in college, man. He showed it a little bit too, man, but he got a little problems with performance enhancing drugs and cocaine too. I remember they were talking about him tested positive for cocaine or whatever he was doing. Oh no, he was talking about the Pacers. All right, so he was talking about certain plays with the Pacers, probably TJ Warren and certain guys. They never actually played with each other.
Oh,
yeah, he's talking about the Pacers. Yeah, but Malik Monk was a beast. He was jumping out the gym. He was jumping 40 feet in the air, shooting 3-pointers that high in the air.
Yo, now cause he crazy. He threw my whole mental off with that. But yo, Malik Monk and Fox at Kentucky was amazing to watch because they was always on go. But it's funny. I'm thinking about that connection. We'll see. We'll see what happened in free agency. And you said Miles Turner. So De'Aaron Fox at the 1, And
But how did we get De'Aaron Fox though? What are you thinking about?
what if De'Aaron Fox acts out? You don't think the Knicks is going to be on that?
Yeah,
I
he's on the contract though. He just signed a big contract, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But at the same time, the NBA players run the league. And if you got a disgruntled player and he wants out, and if he asks out, you're going to have to oblige. Now, if his contract is longer, then you're going to get more assets.
Yeah, I mean, but it's definitely the same stuff. We only got Kevin Knox. Nobody wants to trade nobody. Nobody wants to trade. If you just ask around, that's not saying whatever. If you ask around Twitter, say, "Oh, yo, I'll give him Knox and I'll give him like a 2047 second round pick." People start talking like that. But I mean, Fox is a beast. So all these little deals that we were talking about for, like, say, for Sexton, that's not going to fly for Fox, because Fox is already signed. So we're going to have to actually give substantial, players away, not just cap space. And then judging by they tried to trade Buddy Hield, they actually wanted a load. They were going to get Kyle Kuzma. They were going to get the same deal that they basically gave for Westbrook. Sacramento was looking for the same deal for Hield. So if they're going to trade De'Aaron Fox, and Fox is better than Hield, arguably, right? Then they're going to ask for the world, man.
Yeah, they definitely are. I wouldn't be mad at them. I ain't gonna tell you what I'll give them. Man, we'll keep that on hush until it actually starts getting traction. But I could see the connection from Malik Monk to the Knicks, then a guy like Miles Turner to the Knicks. I could see that.
Yeah, Malik Monk will be cheap. He will be on the low.
Mm-hmm. He would be cheap. He would buy in. I think Tibbs would love Malik Monk. Malik Monk can make somebody situational. so somebody go. I would just get that out the way right now.
Yeah.
He's healthy. He's making somebody situational. So I don't know. It would be a good pickup though. I would like to see Malik Monk here, but I come back to the same question. We got Grimes, McBride. How's it going to work quickly? So it's tough. I like the Miles Turner stuff, though. The Miles Turner stuff, Malik Monk, Fox. Yeah.
Well, these guys play hard. That dude, Grimes. I was watching. I didn't watch him a lot. I forgot that he actually played for Kansas. I remember him asking for the transfer. I didn't think it was a good idea because I thought that was career suicide. But he ended up going to Houston and actually playing really well over there and actually still getting drafted. So I mean that's a testament to his work ethic. Deuce McBride, you can see what he did to Cade and what he does to everybody. There was one game I watched. Shout out to Andy for MBK. They suggested to watch some game. I don't know if it was Andy, but shout out to Andy anyway. They said see if you can watch this game. It's on YouTube. You watch the game on YouTube. The dude, Deuce McBride was going buck wild on both ends of the court, stripping guys in midcourt. Just straight sealing guys off, making alley oops and shooting the threads off the basketball. So I mean, I don't know where these guys get the draft board. How they determine who's better than who. Because when you look at certain players, the eye test really don't lie, and then you look at stats too. Stats. Some of these guys' stats that the guys that we picked are better than the stats of the guys that got drafted ahead. So I don't know how they determine who's better than who.
Yeah, the nerds. Yeah, a lot of people like numbers. They love numbers, man. People love numbers. They don't like the eye test. And numbers don't tell lies, but a lot of people don't like numbers. Man. A lot of people saying the analytic nerds is ruining the game. Like they'll say the mid-range is a bad shot. Brad Stevens told Jaylen Brown to shoot less mid-range jumpers. Shoot more threes. You don't tell a dude to take that away from his game. That's the beat bop boo. Like that. That's in the playoffs when they rough you up, you gotta be able to take a mid-range jumper. It took Braun. Yo, dog, it took him like 7 years to get a jumper. A consistent jumper. So
Yeah, and like yo, you really don't. You're not gonna be a big time scorer, scoring over 20 points a game, not shooting mid range shots. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not gonna be a wide open three or a step back three, and everything is not gonna be at the rim. As a 20 point a game scorer, you're gonna have to be able to mix it up in between some kind of way.
you definitely do. You see guys like a guy like that shoots off the dribble with CJ McCollum. He prime example. He got nice. His mid range. He's elite from mid range. You need the mid range in order to win some games. Even Giannis shot mid range jumpers. I was surprised. He was shooting mid range jumpers. He would pull up now and then, even though he was still being Giannis. He was still being dominant. He stopped shooting jump like he started shooting jumpers rarely as the playoffs got deeper. He was dominating the paint. You seen him when the defense was on him. He'll hit him with a little jumper. Got to do it sometimes to keep the defense honest.
Yeah, you got to get into your bag. CJ McCollum got the big. I think he got like the one of the best bags in the game as far as like counter moves. Yeah, he's like the master of counter moves. If you stop him from doing one thing, he'll hang that dribble another way, and next thing you know, the ball's going through his legs, spinning around, and step back or step back and then pull through again, and still he got so many different moves in his bag. A lot of guys, everybody basically, anybody that's a 20 point a game scorer, they got stuff in their bag, man. So that's here's the thing. We in the draft we went and drafted guards basically. We drafted a guy that's gonna sit in Europe for a year, Roku. We got Juice McBride and we got Grimes. So and then we got a center basically, and in Jericho Sims, and another guy, Aaron Sims is another guy. He's also a big man, a power forward basically. So we didn't address the swingman position at all, unless you want to call Grimes a swingman, but we didn't address it. So there's a massive hole there. So, with our free agency money, that's definitely a big target that we got to focus on in this free agency tomorrow or whatever. So what do you think about that? What do you think we're going to do as far as like swingman is concerned?
I don't even want to jinx the Knicks because I know the free agency start tonight, and I'm getting a little nervous because I don't want the Knicks to do something really stupid. We're going to get somebody we haven't talked about yet. What? Because Diehard, what's been Leon Rose's MO the past 2 years, man? He always do the opposite of what's mainly talked about. Like, nobody said Quentin Grimes. Like, I didn't hear nobody say Quentin Grimes. They got Quentin Grimes, so.
Yeah, never heard of that Rocos guy. Jericho Sims was a deep cut too. I kind of was, at the end I was looking at certain powerful, but I totally forgot about Jericho Sims. If I could talk about Jericho Sims real quick, Kai Jones, the guy that we traded the 19th pick for, and for a future first round pick, they played on the same team. Now I was talking about numbers, right? Kai Jones' numbers is worse than Jericho Sims' numbers, but Kai Jones got drafted number 19, and Jericho Sims got drafted at 58. So who determines if one player is better than the next? If you look at Kai Jones' mixtape, it's nice. A lot of big man stuff going on. He could put the ball on the floor and dunking this, that, and the other. Jericho Sims, same thing though. He's getting the rebound, faking, putting the ball on the floor, dunking, busting his lip on the rim, killing everybody in the at the combine and stuff like that. So I mean, how do you determine that Kai Jones is borderline lottery pick, 19th pick overall, but Jericho Sims on the same team got the same minutes, basically same stats, but Jericho Sims is the one that gets drafted 58. How do you determine which player is better?
Scouting, I mean, I guess. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Because you got some good players who wound up in the second round. One that come to mind is Dylan Brooks. So, it's not hard to be great. Like, you can see it. Dylan Brooks, second round, 45th pick. You can find those guys. You got to have great scouting, though. Emmanuel was an elite pick at where he was picked at 25. That's elite scouting. Grimes, if he pops, if I see him do any type of what are you doing out there, Klay Thompson? Yeah, I see something crazy out there. Definitely, I'm gonna give them their flowers. I'm gonna give them their flowers. That's 2 years in a row they hit on the guard. And it's hard to wings and guards in today's NBA. You could find a wing that does something. You get what I'm saying? But guards in particular, you gotta make sure you got the eye.
Yeah, let me throw this at you. I'm looking at Dylan
Mhm.
Brooks. He was actually drafted in the same draft as Frank, right? So Damian Johnson was also Damian Johnson was also drafted that year too. Guess where Damian Johnson was drafted with the Knicks. He was drafted one spot ahead of Dylan Brooks, and they played for the same team.
Oh, why you just do that? Damn.
No, that answer to my argument. Kai Jones and Jericho Sims. How do you determine who's better than the other? Scouting, elite scouting. Okay, the Knicks could have drafted Dylan Brooks instead of Damian Dotson. But they chose Damian Dotson. Damian Dotson's not a bad player, but at the same time, Damian Dotson's not even in the NBA right now.
You funny. You trying to reverse jinx it. And you teammates. You a funny dude. I can understand what you're saying because hindsight will tell you like both of them is not going to be great. One is going to be good, and the other is probably going to be. Oh, that scared the hell out of me. One is going to be. That scared the hell out of me. Jesus. One is going to be good, and one is going to be marginally good. So it's like, I like Jericho Sims. I like him a lot. I hope he can shoot. That's my main thing. Did you what about his offensive game that you like?
Well, it's nothing special. He didn't really put. He averaged what like. I don't have his stats about. I'm actually looking up Damian Dotson stats and trying to figure out that whole thing. But I mean, basically they averaged both of them together. They averaged 8 and something like 6 with whatever blocks or whatever. They both average basically the same thing. They're not going to be 3-point shooters. Maybe Kai Jones could shoot the 3. So so maybe that's the reason why. What's the name? Jericho Sims. He showed in the highlights that he could shoot the 3s. But I mean, that's all here and there. But I mean, like just to throw out the Damian Dotson and the Dylan Brooks comparison to those two guys, like what determines who's better than who? Because they actually played on the same team and you couldn't tell them apart from each other. So I'm looking at the Damian Dotson. Damian Dotson averaged 17 points a game that year for Houston. So I'll look at let's see what else is going on here with those stats.
Oh, give me 5 minutes, dog.
I got you. But I'm doing this Dylan Brooks thing. Damian Dotson averaged 17 points a game. I don't see Dylan Brooks here. So I guess he didn't play. Did he play for well, he played for Houston. All right, so that's not my fault. That's what do you call Basketball Reference messed that up because I'm looking at it and they're saying that he played for Oregon. So they did play for Oregon together. They played for Oregon. Well, they played for what's the name? Dotson played for Oregon in the beginning of his career. So let me just fact check this stuff, man. Dylan Brooks. Did Dylan Brooks play with him? And I'm thinking no, he did not. So that's a mess up for Basketball Reference. If you put up Basketball Reference and look at that draft, they say that Damian Dotson and Dylan Brooks both played for Houston at the same time. So so Damian Dotson actually played for Houston. So I guess that's why they compare Damian Dotson to Grimes because they both played for Houston. So they actually didn't play together, Dylan Brooks and thing, but it's still kind of the same thing because Damian Dotson was drafted from Houston to the Knicks, but Dylan Brooks went next. You know what I'm saying? So elite scouting, who's better than who? It's not an exact science, but it is what it is, man. But with the small forward stuff, I'm trying to get State to get there. But what is there out there? Who's out there that we could sign? We definitely have a hole in the swingman spot. So who could we sign there? I'm thinking that maybe guys like Chris Paul might actually be on the radar, like seriously on the radar. Not saying that I want Chris Paul. Lowry's another guy that might basically might be on the team as well. Um, not necessarily saying that I want those guys, but I mean, we got to spend the money some kind of way. Another guy, Kelly Oubre. I feel like Kelly Oubre might be a Knick. Just for the simple fact that we got to spend some money, and we don't have to spend all the money. That's the beautiful thing about it. Because I mean, State doesn't like the 1 year vets and this, that, and the other. We're talking about Bullock. We're talking about Alfred Payton. Those are 1 year mercs. But those are only two that were really in the rotation. Oh, excuse me. What's the other dude? From Burks, excuse me, Burks that we signed to a 1 year. But those guys were tight in the rotation and we won 41 and 31 games. You know what I'm saying? So now, I'm hoping that we're picking from a larger pool of players. So Kelly Oubre, I mean, who else is out there at the small forward that's going to really do anything for us? It's just basically Kelly Oubre. If we sign Kelly Oubre, would that be a bad decision? You sign him to like a 3 year contract. I don't know about 4 years. Maybe you could do this the 4 year contract if you want to, because I mean the guy's not a bad. He's a Hey guys, are you still here? I see State is still locked in. So something happened with the internet just now. I don't know if State did that when he left. It made me leave too, man. So that's crazy, man. So anyway, we're I'm just talking about Kelly Oubre. I'm not sure where I got cut off exactly, but Kelly Oubre is basically the only small forward available, free agent wise. So I mean, would that be a bad thing to get Kelly Oubre for like maybe a 2-3 year contract? Make good contract. It'll be the same kind of make good Merc contract or whatever. And as far as point guards and stuff like that, like I said, we mentioned Malik Monk. State likes Justice Winslow. We still got Kawhi Leonard too, man. If Kawhi Leonard wanted to come here, we can actually waste the money to sign him to get him, for next year, the same way that the Nets did with Kevin Durant. That's a possibility too. Keep a guy on the bubble wrap for a year, while we still put a decent team together. If we was to sign Kawhi for like 2-3 year, 4 year maybe, with the make good that he's gonna come next year, maybe sometime towards the end of next year, that's possible. But then we could also sign a Kelly Oubre too, and then next year we'll be double stacked with extra talent and whatever. So all that is all valid stuff, man. So you know that's really it, really, man. Unless State had anything else going on, but State got pulled off the pod to jump on, do something at work there, man. So I'm just gonna end it with you guys here. That's the last little bit that I wanted to say about the free agency and about Frank Ntilikina. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Sorry for the technical difficulties, and we'll try to get that sorted out some kind of way next time, man. So anyway, Peace, diehards. I'll catch you guys in the next one.